So, Amy, what seems to be the problem? I don't know, Doc. I've had no motivation to do anything creative lately. It's like there's an off switch in my brain that refuses to come on. I think it's even starting to affect my body. How so? It feels so numb in the morning. I have these vividly creative dreams of art, of acting, of traveling all over the world. And then I wake up and I can't move at all. Or really, I have no strength to move. I'm just so unhappy with where my life is at the moment. We all experience that in one form or another. Have you tried to tackle any creative hobbies? Well, I did try a knitting class. Oh dear. Okay, let's try a different approach. What is it that you would like to do for the rest of your life, professionally? Honestly, I'd love to be a voice actor. Do you have any acting experience at all? Some drama stuff in school, but mostly people just tell me they think I have a good voice for commercials. Understandable. Now, I want you to focus on practicing. Don't worry about your lack of creativity or any lack of equipment. Just force your body out of bed tomorrow, look up some short monologues, and start with that. Look up some online forums or chat rooms for voice actors, and get some feedback on your reads. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Okay, I'll do it. And just off the record, take these. They might help. Huh? Cold read? What are these for? They're basically dream-inducing psychedelics that will play you entire podcasts about voice acting while you sleep. You'll learn some good tips and should wake up refreshed, ready to tackle your practice. Uh-huh. And you're sure you can give these to me? Like I said, off the record, you want to do this or not? No, I do. I'll take them. Great. One before bed every night. They won't give me a hangover, will they? Relax. I'm your doctor. I would never give you anything that could lead to unfortunate side effects. Uh-huh. Cool. Well, I trust you, Doc. Good. We'll follow up next month? Okay. Perfect. Off you go, then. Sweet dreams. Psychedelics. What a weird doctor. Okay. Let's see if they work.
Nice! Thank you for being here. That was a good one. I think you've just started your own little mini-series there, Misty.
Yes!
Next month we'll get to check in. I love it. Love the heart.
This is like the episode she'll be listening to in her dreams.
Yeah.
I like leading into it.
Hugely meta. Walter would like to know if they're blue pills or red pills. I think that's a very important question.
Oh. Red pills.
We'll leave that for you to figure out. Nice. I will definitely say Cold Read does not condone any use of medicinal, non-prescribed, off-the-record medication. Thank you.
Okay.
Welcome to those of you that are live here during the live recording on YouTube, noon every Sunday on Zamoody on Twitch. If you're here during YouTube or the premiere, thank you so much for being here. Wave hello to you guys. Or if you're listening to us anywhere you can pick up podcasts, thank you so much for tuning us in. We absolutely appreciate it. I will plug this early because I usually do it at the end. If you have any topics or any ideas for us, email us, coldreadthepodcast@gmail.com, coldreadthepodcast@gmail.com. We started our Discord. Our Discord is going to be in the link to this episode everywhere. It is just the world of Cold Read as we go. It will get developed and slowly just transform into a resource for voice actors. Until then, though, I would love to see how everybody is doing today. So let's check in with Renara. Hey, Renara, how was your week?
Hello.
Hello.
My week has been very, very sort of in a sort of haze of what is life / what is the time / I'm sure I had deadlines to do, but I really kind of don't know whether that's in 30 minutes or 30 hours, to put it bluntly. I broke my thumbnail today, which is really bloody hurts, like snapped out, very much hurt. But No, let's start that again. Right. I've heard the first run through of my demo reel.
Ooh.
Nice.
I like the first draft of it, and it sounds amazing.
Hell yeah.
But there's a couple of things to tweak from it, but I'm so excited for you guys to hear it. I managed to do, in my weird haze of I don't know what the time is, I managed to do about 40 individual pieces of Foley today for chapter
I
3.
saw that.
Just went through it. Good thing about time management, if you're not really managing it, you can't really tell when it's going past you, so you just keep going. But yeah, no, I've done that.
Yeah.
I think that's about it. I'm kind of just really focusing on my project at the minute and my demo reel, and then sort of really hammering those away at the minute. We'll get onto voices.com eventually, but doing it one bit at a time. Of those two are my things, so I'm
Okay.
doing those first.
I'm gonna push you on the voices.com thing because you're paying for this
know.
membership and you're not taking advantage of it.
I need my demo first because they want you to have it on there first, and I don't feel comfortable yet until it's up there. So okay.
It's not a necessity. When you apply for jobs, there is no prerequisite saying you have to have a demo reel. It is
Okay.
more so that people can seek you out versus you applying for things.
Okay.
I will say, out of my 2 demo reels that are up there, they've only been looked at like 40 times. So don't focus on
Okay.
it. Don't. I mean,
Okay.
I'm not gonna overly pressure you, but I am gonna say you're missing out because it's been a month. So you're missing out on a month of auditions. Take advantage of it. Put your stuff out now.
I have been told.
Fair enough. Thank you, Misty. Thank you, Renara. Misty, let's check in with you next. Sorry.
Okay, so I went to visit my family last week. Came back thankfully feeling more refreshed in terms of my hair, which was desperately needing some assistance. And overall, it was okay. I had a pretty fun time, and I did feel though that it's a little bit of a weird adjustment because it's just so different being over there, being over here.
Mhm.
There was a bit of a clash. It's like I woke up and it's like, oh God, am I back here? Like, did I never leave? That was like how it felt.
Aw.
And my grandma even tricked me. She was like, hey, you gotta wake up. You go to work at 11. I'm like, what? What?
Even
No, I don't. No, I don't live here anymore. I'm like, no. So, and then coming back here, it's been a really wild week at work, but I'm slowly adjusting back to normal.
Nice.
Good. Well, welcome back. We're happy to have you here again. Awesome. Walter's saying I've been slow about it too. I'm so naughty. But I've been busy doing voicey stuff. And hello, Burnham. And thank you, Burnham, last week for being in for Misty. So appreciate that. Very cool. So, Eldurrino, how about you? How's your week?
Hey.
Hey.
Well, speaking of doing drugs,
Oh God.
I don't currently know where exactly I'm at. No. So this past week, I have been really going hard on finishing the rock opera script because I have been very lazy about finishing it. Somewhat lazy, somewhat just not being able to think of a creative enough ideas that I wanted to put out there. So I finally finished this yesterday morning and sent it to everybody. I started recording my lines for both characters that I play in it today. And what else? I put out on Twitter that I would release a sneak peek of one of the songs, which will basically be one of the songs in its entirety from it. I'm going to release that before Thanksgiving, just to give everyone a heads up as to what to expect. Hopefully we'll be recording that tonight, which I'm super stoked about because I did the character voices just for my own sake, and I really like where it's going. I'm super excited to finish it up. Along with that, I've also been working on my mastering in audio because some of the songs are very metal, very rock heavy, and you need to know how to master that really well in order to get the correct type of sound out of it, which it's not going to be like perfect by any means, but I'm doing my best. So very excited to record that stuff as well. What else was this week? I haven't gamed for about 2 weeks, so I'm kind of losing my mind. I mean, I played Destiny last night, but that was only for like a couple of hours.
Yeah.
I watched Rat Race for the first time, which is a super fucking hilarious movie. If anyone needs something to do this weekend, watch Rat Race. It is hilarious. And it's got John Cleese in it, so can never go wrong.
Okay, I'm
with
sold.
that. Yes.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah, no, otherwise that's I think that's about it. I can't really think of anything else super important.
Let me save people some time from Googling. So yeah, Rat Race, released in 2001. Whoopi
heard of it. I
Goldberg,
haven't watched
Cuba
it
Gooding
yet.
Jr. A lot of names in here, yeah. Kevin Frazier, Seth Green. Wow. Okay, John Lovitz.
Is it on Netflix?
It's on Netflix.
John Lovett's character is fantastic, though. Like, out of all the characters, he was one of my favorites.
I love, John Lovitz did the that movie reviewer back in Fox like 10 or so years ago. It was a hilarious thing. The Critic, I believe it was called.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was a funny show. Yeah, I love. Yeah, he's a good guy. Fish Called Wanda is the best, says Burnham. Okay.
Doesn't sound familiar.
So I did a little bit more work for J Show clips. He's been putting up the clips up in TikTok now. That's the one of the voices.com roles. In all honesty, I kind of botched the delivery, which I kind of feel bad for because I was a little rushed on the thing. I didn't QA it as well, and I bent a couple of words to try to make, because it's English is a second language. He gives me the scripts, and I try to model them a little bit better. I guess I just made some very poor choices in words. So lesson learned on that one. I'm obviously gonna have to give him like, here's exactly how I have it written, and here's what I think. So we'll go from there. So yeah, careful with the people that you're delivering work to. Make sure that you're giving them specifically what they want. Other than that, work's been super busy. Still, November is our busier times. I do social work. We got Thanksgiving coming up. People start really panicking. They put in their applications, and unfortunately, they get on more irate side. But what can you do? It's just it's people in desperation. I try not to take it personally. But yeah. All in all, it's been a fun week. Looking forward to doing a little bit more projects. Hopefully a little more time in the booth this week. This whole morning has just been recording for Killer Case Files, which is the TikTok series that I do. This next one's going to have 12 episodes. 6 of them are lore, and they're like 2+ minute readings. It's a ton of fun. So super happy about it. Zamoody and surround sound. Somebody's speaker is getting picked up by their mic. Walter, you're not wrong. But yeah, all in all, a good week. Let's try to have another good one, because we got one more and then Thanksgiving coming up, so this will be busy times. So one of the topics I wanted to talk about real quick was in regards to voices.com in particular, because I've been seeing a lot of their jobs have been really weird, and I've been posting them in the host chat. I need to look into what it takes to put up a voices.com job, only because I'm super curious what it takes. Because I'm assuming that on the other side, it takes a membership, or it takes a fee, or it takes something. So that's something I'm going to be looking into real quick while we're talking about it. But just as an example, I want to show, and I'm going to bring it up so chat can see it. I don't know how I'm going to do it for people on podcasts, so I'm going to have to figure that one out.
Because it looks like you start for free, but then like you get an account for free.
Yeah.
Something like that.
You can get a basic account for free, and then you pay, and then it kind of unlocks a lot of other things. I presume it's something to do with that.
Right. Yeah, I'm not sure. I know based on what you sent, though, like, it must not be terribly difficult to be able to post a job listing, given the ones that Zamoody had found were almost comparable to ones you'd see on Casting Call Club, where you get paid like peanuts for 12 million words. or even vice versa.
So
I don't know.
I've gotten one up on screen. It's going to be hard to see for people on mobile in general, but the budget for this particular job is $450. Supposedly finished minutes is 2 hours and 58 minutes and 50 seconds. The word count is 26,827 words.
What, mate?
And it's a healthcare one, which means that you know that this has got super complicated words. It's going to take you many retakes to get done. So that was incredibly I don't know, it threw me off. It had one response. I feel bad for the guy that did response. 2 million words later, $20, says Matt.
Yeah, no kidding.
But it's weird because it like started a trend. Like, so every time I started looking into it, I started seeing another. So here's another one right here that I've put up. I didn't even bother putting like the name up. Budget's between 100 and 249 words. I mean, dollars, and it's 13,500 words.
Right.
It just sounds to me like the stuff we talked about in regards to that YouTuber who was is it extortion or not? It's that sort of area of what can I get for new people who don't particularly might not know how this rolls. Oh, there's another thing I'll hopefully segue later, which came to my attention on Twitter, which is the same thing for voice classes. You get the similar sort of thing of they charge extortionate for the hope of getting people who perhaps don't have as much experience in the industry and go, oh, that must be reasonable. And it's that type of phishing. And I hate it. I don't like it. Ugh, it annoys me.
So,
well, yeah, I mean, that kind of leads me back to, like, I have seen exactly what you're talking about, Ryan, because there was a post I saw on Twitter. I think you might have retweeted or something, but it was someone offering a beginner's class about how to get into voice acting and what you need, yada yada, but they're charging like $800 for it.
Yes.
And that I find absolutely insane for the simple fact that, like, back when I started a year ago, I found a class that has it's pre-recorded, and it's just one guy talking, but it's probably got like 10 hours worth of material. The original price was $200, but I got it on discount like around Black Friday for $10. Like, you can certainly do a lot better. So if for any aspiring voice actors or even novice voice actors, if you're looking to get into classes, that's awesome, but definitely know that classes do not cost that type of money, not even professional classes, I don't think.
Renara,
I posted the link of the thing that I copied.
Send me the link because it won't come through on the chat.
Okay.
Sorry.
Where am I putting it?
So I just put up on the screen the actual tweet. So it says, "Hold up, no beginner voice actor should ever pay $800 for a class." So we're looking at an 8-session interactive lab from something called Stage 32. I'm guessing.
Yes.
Okay.
That seems to be the people. And they even put like friggin' payment plans because it's very, very expensive. No, like it boggles the mind because it's who beginning in this has that much money to spare, if that makes sense. And
yeah, I mean,
you're in a much better position than most people, if that makes sense. So it's that thing of either they're trying to extort people who feel they need this in order to succeed, or they are marketing to a very, very slim number of people who actually have that much spare cash, so to speak.
Well,
yeah, go
ahead.
I'm just gonna say, just in chat right now, Walter itself says, like those commercials you see all over the net for the voiceover beard, it's like $1,000.
That's the one I was going to bring it up. That's the one I was going to bring up exactly, because that's the YouTube that I got, and it was about his course, and it costs $1,197.
Oh my god!
For this course.
What?
But the discount, if you watch it's a small training video. If you watch like the training webinar thing, you can give you a discount for $897.
No.
Just
Woo!
the thing is that it's like a very unique approach, supposedly, because he markets himself through Instagram. So he does like promotional stuff on Instagram and he uploads videos there. It's supposedly the whole appeal is that he's going to teach you how to do that, and that's like another way to get into voice acting. It's like
Burnham says, I'd rather bribe somebody $100 to buy myself a role.
Yeah, no kidding.
Walter,
yeah.
and Walter says, I feel like just get a good coach. You can plan out your sessions, what you want to cover, adjust your needs as you go. Of course, do your homework and get referrals.
Right. Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of material out on like YouTube or just the internet in general on voice acting, and obviously it helps to have direct feedback from a single person or whatever. But like, if you're teaching a class, especially if it's online, it's all digital. You can have hundreds upon thousands of people that will pay you for this, and you have the like audacity to charge $800 per person. Like that's insane. That is 100% extortion.
They treat it like it's this thing where it's like, oh, these are like ultra secret things that like no one else really uses or knows, and that's these people obviously. It's really sad to think they give that much money, and even before looking into other options that could be also beneficial and way less expensive.
It like the example you gave reminds me of those as seen on TV commercials where they say, you know, like, buy the slap chop original price is $200 and we're selling it for $39.99. Like,
who priced it in the first place? I mean, come on.
Exactly. Yeah. like they oversell themselves, you know, like, and sure, there's probably some little tips and tricks that more experienced people know about that they can share with you, but $800 per person, it's certainly not going to be worth that amount. I mean, as long as you just continuously practice and research and, you know, do what you need to do, like, you can figure that stuff out for yourself.
Okay.
I feel that in a weird way that they're playing off of the it's more expensive, so it must be worth more.
Yes.
It's like,
100%.
if that makes sense.
100%.
Yeah. And it's that horrible grey area where every VA kind of struggles in that we all have to price ourselves and we have to then like decide how much we're worth. So then they're playing off of that and going, well, this is what I think my stuff is worth, so you're going to have to pay for that in that regard. And then it's that there's that fine line of what is too much and what is too less, and you've got to really find that middle balance. But things like this I always see as you're trying to extort from people, and it's why always vet companies and people
100%.
before you go with them. 100%. Don't just take an ad or anything and feel, oh, I must do this in order to get anywhere. Because I'm one of those people, I firmly believe that just learn as you go at your own pace, because you could pay for that and you could learn so much stuff, but can you process all of that in the time you need to? Like, you could end up wasting that money because you don't process all of the information that's been given to you in such a small amount of time. So while classes are well and good, I agree with who said it? Was it Walter? Yeah, Walter. In that, find a good coach and work at your own pace and pay per session, so you can, you know, like, work at your pace and improve with someone rather than just to go throw money at people and hope for the best. If that makes sense.
Right.
Throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah, because I mean, you could be paying, you know, $10,000 for these classes as compared to somebody else who has paid $500, and you would both have the same amount of knowledge, you know, and especially to prey on the people that are just starting out. Like, you have to think about, they have to buy their own equipment, they have to buy a computer most likely, they have to buy like the stuff for sound treatment. Like, that in itself already is a pretty decent chunk of change. And then now you're trying to say, oh yeah, $800, yes, it's split amongst 8 classes, but I mean, like, $100 per maybe hour or so, that's ridiculous, especially in the digital age when everything, you can have thousands upon thousands of people signing up for your class, and all of a sudden, anyways.
So there's been a lot of chat, so I want to make sure to catch up with it. So Matt says, even after the first CCC class, I felt I learned enough to do my own thing. It's very cool. I know that they offer those classes, and they have been very recently. Magmorta says you can literally take a voice actor's class via community college for much less than that pricing.
Right.
Yeah. Walter says, not only that, but those websites also want you to join their network for $50 to $100 a month to take advantage of their insert exciting item here. So, also, I like Burnham's comment here. Opinions are like assholes. If you're paying $800 for one, there's probably something illegal going on.
Yeah.
I love that.
Matt
I mean, like,
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No.
No, go ahead. I was just gonna say, even in an instance in which a professional voice actor who's been doing this for many years, in this case, like Steve Bloom offers weekly hour-long sessions of teaching people, talking with other professional voice actors, et cetera, et cetera. But his entire library, regardless of when you sign up, is available for you to look back on throughout the entire year. And he charges like, I think it's $1,400 or so, but that's an entire year's worth of material, plus anything past that year in the past that has been recorded. Like, you can, even when you go to a professional voice actor, you can save a lot of money. So if anyone ever sees these offers, just, I don't know. I don't want to send them.
It's reputable, though. You know Steve Bloom.
Right.
Good old grunt.
The Beards VO, I've never heard of them.
Right.
And just a quick little search brings up a Reddit thread that at this point is like minutes long about how hated this community is. Nobody trusts them in the VO community. Problem is, people won't do their research. They will just jump in head on.
Yes.
And pay that money thinking of what they're going to get. And I'll bet you 9 times out of 10, it's stuff that you could have just as easily Googled or picked up on a YouTube video.
Don't get scammed, people!
Or on a podcast.
Yeah.
I know. But still, it's recorded and people can play on blast now.
Speaking of which, next season we'll actually be offering lessons that we will all be teaching everybody, starting at $1,400 per week.
Oh, I bloody wish.
ColdRead will not be offering any classes.
Especially since, like, the very base that most voice acting classes appear to teach, it's pretty much the same in most cases where it's like vocal exercises, recommendations for like how to take care of your voice. That's something that's very common among voice acting classes, because I've taken I've taken 2 so far. It's like the same, exactly, almost the same recommendations for that. That takes up a pretty good chunk of like 1 or 2 classes. And if it's like 8 or 6, you think really sort of measure that to see which one would be the best value, depending on what you know, what you already feel comfortable with, or the level of knowledge or experience you have. Because you're going to see a lot of the same thing. So just be wary, choose the best option for you.
I like this. Walter says, you know what would be a good service? Like $100 to have someone evaluate your current level of skill and give you advice on what to do and where to go next. That's worth the money.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's like going to like the doctor for a checkup, you know, like, hey, how is my health doing? All right, well, you're doing good here, but you could improve in these areas. And I'm going to keep hitting my fucking microphone the rest of this podcast. You know, like, yeah, I mean, that's certainly a good idea to have someone to like a consultation, essentially, where they can say, you know, hey, these parts I really enjoy, but these parts over here you can definitely work out a bit more, and here's the resources that you can use to improve. Like, yeah, that's a fantastic idea, and I would certainly pay $100 for that. Like, I'm pretty good about judging my own character and evaluating where I am in my my life, I guess, but. I mean, to hear from someone else. Yes, we're absolutely biased.
And I think the Global Voice Acting Academy has something similar to that, or they at least have consultations or like one-on-one coaching, and they even offer like good resources for like pricing and rate guides. So you could check out something like that. I'm not sure how much their current pricing is, but that's a site that I've gone back to a few times to look at some stuff.
And I mean, even your idol, Miss Hale, has something, correct? Yeah.
I was trying not to, you know, but yeah, no, she has.
Not to bring up Jennifer Hale.
You turned on the faucet, Zamoody.
Una memento, whilst I actually pull up the thing that she has created herself. Sorry, I'll stop. No, it's skill. I think it's Skills Hub. Yes, Skills Hub. She has basically she collated loads of voice actors that she may not know personally, but she vetted a load of people, and basically you pay a subscription to it, and you book out sessions with these voice actors. They will evaluate, they will help you tune your performance, help you find the next steps and do those things. It just so happens I don't earn enough money to pay for that at the minute, so I would be doing it now if I could. But no, she does something like that already, and it's you pay a subscription fee for the site, and then you pay per session with whoever you want to book time with. It could be her, it could be other people. So there's a lot of autonomy behind that, and I would recommend it, not because I'm a Jennifer Hale stan, but because it also seems like a really good idea, actually, to be honest.
That has nothing to do with it.
No, I'm actually being really honest. No, I looked at this and went, this is really good. And because they actually have a list of the voice actors on there, so you can check it out and you can see. And I think Steve Bloom is in there somewhere, actually. Yep. So I would honestly check it out. I would have a look at it and see if it works for you guys. I'll put it in the chat for everyone to have a look.
Send it to me.
You probably need to send it to Zamoody. Yeah.
And I'll send it in the audio file because I'm doing good here, guys. Yay.
Yeah, D. Bradley Baker, he's obviously big name in the business, and he has a free site that he just posts blog posts and recommendations for. I want to be a voice actor. .com. So he has how can someone that's already that high up and it's just offering resources like that because they really want to help people. Even people like that are doing it. You don't need to charge infinite amounts of money if you're
I think people need to put more credit in their own self-learning. I think because everyone learns at a certain pace and you are not beholden to the rat race. I think if you
I love that movie.
If you continuously feel you have to keep up with everyone else, you are going to burn out before you even get off the starting block. It's like when you hold down the A button on Mario Kart, you burn out if you hold it for too long.
Nice reference.
What a reference. Nice.
Yeah.
It's that thing. I feel old.
Very appropriate.
No, not at all. That's still a thing.
This is still a thing. Great. But yeah, no. Learn at a rate that is comfortable for you and don't feel so pressured. You do not need permission to go at your own speed. Everyone is different. Everyone is individual. People can be neurodivergent. People learn in different ways. And only you can find out how you learn. So maybe you might be paying so much money for a class that you don't even know actually works for the way you learn at this point. So I would recommend, honestly, start off making your own stuff or doing your own stuff or going for things because you enjoy it and learn through doing it. And then once you've got a basis of skills that you're happy with, that make sure classes aren't needed, aren't needed. You want to do them, not I have to do them, if that makes sense. I'm going to stop now.
I mean,
Rambles.
Yeah, there it is.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, it kind of goes back to the thing that we've preached many times. You don't need good equipment to start being a voice actor. You don't need professional training. You just need to have an interest or a love for the craft. And as long as you have that and you have the time and the effort put in, you can certainly make something of yourself. And yes, the extra stuff will come into play later on down the road, but getting started, especially beginners, those who are just jumping in, you don't need any special equipment. You don't need $800 classes. You don't need any of that.
No, you just need the drive, the motivation.
But you do need to buy Jennifer Hale's class right now. Go watch the YouTube VOD and you'll understand that joke.
Any of these, I'm gonna be so embarrassed.
Do I need to put in like a warning for anybody who is triggered by randomly changing colors?
Oh God!
That was the last time, I promise.
Okay, so I saw Matt's offer for like he'll teach you everything you want to know for $500. I like that one. Let's see. So yeah, Matt agrees. Everybody learns at their own pace, at their own thing. Although Walter says my own speed. Okay, I'm gonna hire Buzz Lightyear, teach me voice acting to infinity and beyond.
Oh, you're gonna hire Chris Pratt, of course.
Is that the new one?
That is the
Chris
new
Evans.
one.
Oh God, I hadn't heard him like talk.
No, it's not Chris Evans. It's Chris Pratt.
No, Chris Evans is Buzz. Chris Pratt is Mario and Garfield.
I thought
No, Chris Pratt is
was
Buzz
Woody.
Lightyear.
No.
I thought Chris Pratt was Woody.
No.
It
What?
is Chris Evans. It is Chris Evans.
Duh.
I believe
I
it is
swear on my
Evans for.
It is. I swear on my life. I know it.
Chris
We were
Evans
talking
is
about
like-
this on another server, and it was like,
Yes.
oh my
Toy
god.
Story.
Yeah,
Okay.
Pratt is doing Mario and Garfield for some random
This is
reason.
true.
Like,
I've just
Pratt's
looked it up.
doing
Chris
Woody.
Evans is credited
no.
as Buzz Lightyear in Lightyear 2022.
Yeah.
I saw a lovely little mashup of his character from Knives Out with Buzz's face on it. It was so fucking funny.
I said this about a
I'm
couple
sorry.
actors. I want Chris Pratt's agent. My God, the man is in everything.
Yeah, right? I want Chris Pratt to voice my life.
It's a meme, I think, right now, isn't it?
Apparently, he's just great. He's just the best voice actor ever, apparently now.
Well, he's like the best everything ever because he's in Marvel. He's he does TV. He did all this other crap. It's like I want Nolan North. That's true. Also, yeah, Nolan North is a voice actor in freaking everything too. Tim Allen is my Buzz Lightyear. Aww.
Yeah, I know.
I did. Oh, yeah. I did find it interesting that now we're gonna watch the movie that inspired Andy to buy Buzz Lightyear. So how meta is it that we're
Oh,
going like
cool.
completely full circle around with all of this?
Yeah.
Right.
That is super cool.
Yeah.
A little nervous.
I want
But
Frank
I'll be
Welker
okay.
and Peter Cullen. Just those two are hard. But yeah, let's get back on topic because that just got derailed.
Moody rambles.
Well, yeah, I need to make one of those now too. My
Yeah.
gosh, yeah. No.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'll just play yours again just for me. Rambles.
Zamoody.
So I mean, and I think Eldurrino hit it right on the head. It's just this doesn't have to be a super expensive investment on yourself. You can just practice by yourself. Ren did it with just a headset microphone and landed a couple of roles with it. And more important was,
This one.
yeah,
This literal one that plugs into this microphone.
yeah, absolutely. But even it goes both ways. Don't spend too much money into it, but at the same time, don't get caught into this whole I'm going to pay you an exposure because that doesn't pay the bills.
Exactly.
If you want to do a favor for a friend, that's one thing.
Mm.
Don't think that you have to do roles at the same time for free. You have to really measure the benefits to that as to how far that you want to go. If you're doing it for fun, I could understand it. You know, you have to understand those fan dubs that you're going to do are probably not going to go on your resume.
Right.
This is
All those Minecraft role plays.
oh, right.
Oh,
Oh,
I
God.
covet those so much, Ren. All right. Cut me some slack.
Says Matt. Well, yours at least was, your stuff is more original. I like the the Darkest Dungeon. All of those lore reads are more original they are than you're taking a fan dub and you're throwing it up on YouTube. So they said the same thing about the journals. I'm doing the same thing when it comes to Lore Undead by Daylight, and it's I'm having fun with it. It's not going to go on my resume. Why is your screen frozen? Why is everybody's screen frozen over there? Hold
Oh,
on.
Oh
no.
my goodness.
Uh-oh.
Oh God.
Stand
We've
by.
all been thrown into the annals of time. Oh no!
I love that my bald
yeah.
spot is screenshotted.
I
Oh
did
god,
see-
the cameras are all gone.
There we go.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
All right.
I did see
Well,
Walter's comment, like my Fiverr gigs. They're not going on my resume. It's like, no, honestly, do take it from me too. Like literally, you can just start even from that. Just put yourself out there. It doesn't even take anything to do that. If people are willing to pay you, that does say a lot. And it means that
Right.
you're at least good, decent at what you do. You should keep working on it to refine it even more. So like when it comes to the commercial stuff, I feel like I'm at a point where it's like, I don't think I can really do that for free. I want to be able to expand more on that. because I've been doing it for a while.
Mhm.
But with my character acting, still doing fan dubs and stuff just for practice so I can get better. And then I can be like, yeah, I'm going to be more serious.
And that's fine
And
because
what-
you're telling yourself you're doing it for practice. So that I can understand. But I mean, don't try to convince yourself that that is going to lead to something much, much bigger. Fan dubs, for the most part, are frowned upon. Voices.com work is frowned upon, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Fiverr stuff is frowned upon. So you really have to watch out where you're going. It is, and we've said this before, what you're putting out there for people, because it eventually it's going to come back and it might bite you in the butt.
Right.
Matt says, give it some time because you picked a fascinating game to read through, and you have the voice. Oh, yeah. That's the thing, though. It's just it's a passion project. You're having fun with it. I've learned so much out of doing these videos: how to use Adobe, how to use Audition, how to meld everything together. I learned how to do thumbnails today in like an hour. That was a lot of fun. Something I
Nice.
would have never had the time to learn before. It's just because of all of this that may lead to something better in the future.
Now, I do want to talk about quickly resumes, especially when it comes to voice acting. I don't necessarily see it as a bad idea to list previous unpaid work, maybe not fan dubs, just because it does reference copyrighted material. But for like original works, I don't really see that as a negative thing. Reason being, and this is my own opinion, so please, take this with a grain of salt. When you first start out in life, getting your first job, you want to showcase that you are a reliable person, that you're hardworking, that you're trustworthy, et cetera, et cetera. So naturally, you're going to put on your resume other jobs that you have done in the past, whether they were paid or not. Like say you worked at a camp over the summer, cooking or being a counselor or something. Like that is something that you put on your resume because it is a form of responsibility. So like, for instance, I just created my voice acting resume this week because I wanted to apply for a specific post. I skipped the like fan dub stuff, as cool as that was, but like the more original work, like I had a part in an audio drama that hasn't been released yet, but I put that on there, just because it is something that I was paid for. It wasn't amazing pay, but it was something that I got paid for, and I worked my butt off to make happen. So I don't think, like in the case of using like Fiverr, for instance, I wouldn't post individual gigs necessarily, but I don't see it as a bad idea to mention that you are a talent on Fiverr and maybe even post, like however many projects you've completed over the course of however much time. And I would be interested to know if you guys agree with me on that.
I would agree in sense of it's why I wanted to put all of the intros that I do together as a saga, because in a weird way it's that thing. I'm one of those people that I don't want to waste anything, or anything that I've made or do or whatever. I want to have some return on it in some form, and I'm pretty sure anyone who's makes a project wants to be able to use it or have it, if that makes sense. So when I do these intros, I make it when I'm writing them, I go, right, I want to make sure everyone can like have this as part of their resume, even if it is free. I tend to just not say what things I've been paid for and whatnot. I just list everything I've done, and just because my initial resume, as you want to call it, was on my CCC profile, where I just listed everything I did with the links to them. I included some of my really old stuff, which was like actual film production stuff, but that's the stuff I don't include anymore because I don't think it's anything to do with what I really want to do at this point. So I've kind of, they're there if people want to see, hey, I've done directing of this kind in regards to project management or my ability as a project manager, so to speak. I always try to find something with something. I don't think I've ever done things like fan dubs, and so I can't really comment on that part of things. I'd be interested in hear what you guys think about what I'm doing at the minute, which is the Throne of Glass audio drama, because I've got some people saying that I shouldn't add that because it is a book, but it's also an interpretation of it that I'm bringing to life in my own way. It's my own version of telling that story and hiring actors and things like that. So would that be considered copyrighted material or not? Because it's the book, and there is an official not audio drama, audio book of someone reading the book, but I'm adding Foley, all these other things. I've made it my own in my own spin, if that makes sense. So would that be considered copyrighted material?
Not a lawyer. All people on Cold Read the Podcast are not lawyers. I would be concerned. I mean, just as much as I'm concerned with the stuff that I do. I'm not an owner of that series. I'm not an owner of that property. Behavior could very well, who is the company that come over to my thing and say no more. And take that away, cease and desist, and that'll be completely removed. I have a feeling that because you are literally reading a full book on YouTube, that company's publisher could go to you and say, take it down.
Right. Now, in the sense where, for instance, like Matman with his series about Darkest Dungeon, he doesn't necessarily do a direct reading from the game itself, but does more discussion and interpretation of the lore behind the game. That one, it kind of rides the line of, is this okay to do for money and is it not? I know, at least I believe he doesn't make any
we don't know if it's monetized or not. Yeah.
Right, but I think in that instance, it would be okay, and I don't think creators would necessarily frown upon it unless they're super protective of their property, i.e. Nintendo. That's just my thought on it, at least. But yeah, when it comes to direct reading from a book, it's great that you're kind of trying to put your own spin on it and you're adding the sound effects and etc. But I mean, yeah, it could be seen as almost like, I don't know, ripping off the material in a sense. There's a better word for it. I just can't think of it.
I think that it could cause them profits in the long run. Maybe the situation that you might run into, even if you don't monetize it. Which, by the way, Matt's already said he does not monetize his Darkest Dungeon stuff. They see it as more of a promotion for Darkest Dungeon itself. Yeah. So I mean, there is that situation where it's like, okay, well, why am I going to buy the audiobook when Renara's got the whole thing much better on YouTube?
Yeah.
So yeah, I would be concerned on that side. If you don't monetize it, I think you've got a better leg to stand on. I think your channel, I think, is in the same condition as mine. Is we don't even have the option to monetize at this point.
Yeah.
Matt says always put a disclaimer. Burnham says disclaimers are the bare minimum. I don't own this. These people do. Go buy the books.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean that's usually a good plan to do with anything that you're working with that is copyrighted and you don't have the rights or the license to.
Yeah.
I think, and again, this is my own thought, but I would believe that people would be a little more lenient on you as long as you kind of say, this isn't my stuff. I am just simply doing this as a fan. Yeah. Here's where you can spend money to, actually, get the full thing, and go support the creators and etc. I did want to jump back real quick because Burnham made a comment about resumes. He said, if you've worked with people who are impressed by your work ethic, they make good references. And that is the same thing with your jobs in real life. You make a good impression on somebody, you say, hey, can I list you as a reference on my CV or my resume? If they liked you, they'll say, yeah, of course, no problem. And then, I don't know about the voice acting community, but I know in my real life experience, I've had people reach out to those people. Those people were like, yeah, this guy was very helpful. He was very hardworking, etc. And that led me to get some pretty decent jobs. And I imagine the same thing would probably happen in the performing arts community.
Going back, Matt, I think, is giving you the perfect disclaimer right there. It says the following is a fan-based production. Blank is owned by blank and blank. Please support the official release.
What
Do
that
like
is
that.
from what series does that? The
I've heard that. Yeah, I know. What you're
the
talking
Dragon
about.
Ball Z abridged
Yeah.
series.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think people also have the same concern on CCC when it's a paid project, but it's a fan dub. People are like, wait, can you pay to do that when it's like copyrighted material? But it's like, well, if the director just wants to pay the actors for their time and for that, I don't see a problem with it. So,
Well, yeah, I mean, they're the creator
making
that
money
is
from it.
using the assets, are not making money off of it, so I think it's okay.
as long as they're not monetizing it, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, just to give you all a heads up, thank you so much for the raid, House of Dub. I believe your audio is about to start playing here in just a moment because you did get... No, I did turn off the shout out, so there goes the audio. So for me in the future, let's wait just a little bit until that goes away. What are we listening to? I heard Dub's voice in a second ago. I don't even know what you're up to over there, but I hear it going. Dub, thank you so much for the raid. Appreciate you. I hope you had a good stream. I hope everything went well. No worries. But yeah, let's get back into it. And I apologize for the disturbance. But yeah, you said fan dubs, and I thought, hey, perfect time to segue into House of Dub. So thank you for that. But yeah, I mean, did the Dragon Ball Z abridged version? Because I remember that being on YouTube. Was that for money? Did they monetize that?
I don't think so. I know for a fact though that the original voice actors for the Eastern or the Americanized version of Dragon Ball Z fully support that project, and they absolutely love the people that do it. Like the people have been at conventions with them, you know, kind of doing their own version of the characters alongside the original version of the characters. So as far as like Akira Toriyama and stuff like that, or Toriyama, sorry, I don't know if they are okay with it, but I'm gonna guess that they probably aren't monetizing it.
I mean, even if you put it up unmonetized, it's a good springboard to get your channel rolling for you to actually be able to do other projects. So I can see it from that side as being a good thing. You're practicing your skills, you're doing your editing. Yeah, it just turns into such a complicated thing.
Because I look at because there's the whole thing of copyright infringement and things like that, and it does a check through, but I guess that's only for if it actually contains
if you're using
other stuff from other places. Yeah, so I've only ever been looking at that.
Yeah.
Well, and again, I'm not here to burst your proverbial bubble, because you put in a lot of work for this thing, and yes, it could. If you ever do decide to go into production, I could see you using this, a non-monetized, as an example of here's what I can do, here's what I can put together, for you to check it out. Feel free to listen to it. Walter says copyright law can be tricky. Everyone should read up on it so they have a basic understanding. In most cases, if you think you might be violating, then you probably are.
Yeah. Right.
Oh,
and I did have something short.
Sorry.
Separate from what we're talking about, but I just wanted to get some advice on something really quick.
Sure, go ahead.
Well, I'm in a server where they do visual novels. It's a dev server where it's like a ton of devs for like small visual novels. They look for crewmates, people that can help with it. And someone mentioned in VC that they have a stream. They're going to do a stream where they're going to go through a whole list of voice actors and listen to all of their demos, so that anyone who's listening to that can like contact them if they're interested. I'm like, oh, but I don't have one. And they're doing that like really soon. I'm not sure if I should just throw something together for that or
do it. That's what I got told to do.
Oh,
literally, like on one of the VA leads on Skywind asked me for my demo reel, and I went, I don't have one yet. And she went, just write something and throw something together. Yes, it won't be as good as like a professionally made one, but then you've got something you can share. So write a thing, do it, and then edit what you can, add a bit of music, and voila.
We've always said here, the first thing that you want to do is not a demo. You want to wait. You're not at the very beginning of your career, Misty. You've been very progressed. I think out of all of us, you've got the most experience when it comes to like the Fiverr thing and the paid gigs thing. So you're not new. Yeah, you could probably throw one together real quick and very easily, you know, put it under 1:15, which are the basic rules. Don't go over like 5 or 6 characters. Again, part of the basic rules. Do it.
Yeah.
And you know what? Now in the future, once you've done it once, you'll know next time, hey, maybe I'll tweak the script, and because you don't want to use somebody else's material when it comes to this stuff. You want it to be more original.
Yeah, because my fear is like with the music and stuff. It's like I don't have much experience with that kind of mixing and stuff, so it's a little like mine's not going to sound as good as the other ones. But I just want them to hear my voice, really.
Yeah,
it's why I outsourced someone to help me with that aspect, because I wrote mine, I wrote it and I voiced it, but then I went, can someone else help me with this bit, because then it gives that objective ear of you're not then like over criticizing yourself, if that makes sense. So I don't know. I guess any of us could help.
when I did mine, I found a guy on Fiverr that does not charge very much to master the demo. I can send you over that information if you want to take a look at it.
Oh,
Is this the same one who did yours, Zamoody?
Yeah, same guy that did mine.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Did you also go with him?
No.
Oh, yeah.
I called in a favor. I did something for someone, and they said that they owe me. So I went, could you do this for me, and then we're even.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sort of thing.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So for those of you that are looking, name is PM Legrand. He is on Fiverr. He did, his prices were reasonable. So take a peek at it. I'll put the link in hosts, and then I'll put it somewhere where the podcast can come up. But I mean, what's stopping you from doing it? What's your hesitation in putting it out?
Yeah,
it's just that someone I taught this to another server, and someone was like, well, if you want to do a demo, you might as well just like do like the one, and not throw something together, because it may not be like the same. And I'm like, I don't know. That was what was getting to me. It's like I want to make a demo, but I want it to be like my final demo.
but how are you going to learn and grow if you don't try it?
There is no such thing as a final demo. I'm telling you right now.
Never.
Yeah. No.
It's like your resume; it constantly changes and evolves as you go. So just do one, see where you are now, and then you can look back on it and see your progression.
Yeah,
like,
Walter
you can actually
agrees.
see where you started.
Yeah.
Well, not only that too, but like some creators don't really like the Foley and the music and yada yada. That all helps accentuate your voice, but in the end, your voice is the thing that creators want. So if you have just, if you have previous projects that you have the rights to, obviously, you could compile all those. You could write your own scripts and make your own voices and throw all that together. And yeah, like everyone has been saying, you have to start somewhere. So just creating something basic and then saying, okay, this is not where I'm going to end, but this is sufficient enough. Then as you go along, you can really tweak everything. You can add in the extra bits to really help accentuate the product as a whole.
100% agree. And yeah, I know people that put in demos like every year. I don't have the patience to do that, not right now. But the other thing you could do is people that you've done previous work for that you like what you've put out. You can message them and say, hey, can I put this in my demo reel? And they may actually say, yeah, sure, go ahead, or
you could just take samples and knit them together if you think that will work.
Something to consider.
Yeah, I'll definitely look into it, because at least for that idea that person had, I was like, oh, that sounds so cool, because that would like let me, anyone that could listen to it could reach out if they're interested.
How much time do you have though? Because that's also going to play into everything.
I'll have to see.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's why I was like, I'm not sure. I just want to throw something together, because that's like, for something big, I don't have much time.
Yeah.
Right.
Kenny says demos are a point of progression. I agree, and welcome Kenny Krieger. Walter, it says final demo, no such thing. You should be constantly be upgrading it. Matt is getting all completely like time is an illusion. Or, I'm sorry, time is an illusion is trying to tell us. But yeah, make it a habit to ask permission. And after every gig, I do it in delivery. One of the Fiverr stuff, I'm assuming.
Awesome.
Glad that's working out for you, by the way, Walter. And I know you nailed a particular job that just turned into a better job. So congratulations on that.
Very cool.
Nice.
Let's close this up again, and I said this at the beginning, I'll say this again at the end like we're used to. If you have any suggestions for topics that you want us to talk about, if you want to be interviewed, if you have a demo, or if you have an audition you want us to listen to, email us coldreadthepodcast@gmail.com, coldreadthepodcast@gmail.com. Our Discord link is going to be in the description for all of these places. Feel free to click on that, come in and join us. We'd love to have you. I believe we have a guest coming up for next week, hopefully, if everything lines up correctly. Fingers crossed. This is Saturday morning TV over on Twitch. We're super interested to talk to Brittany in regards to how they're doing with Anchovy and how's that going with all of the audition, the whole process. Third round going through TikTok. I've got a ton of questions for him. Hopefully you all do too. But yeah, looking forward. Yes, more guests. Next week's intro is going to be Eldurrino, I believe.
Yep. Amidst all the other stuff that I'm working on, hopefully I'll actually remember this time.
And not pull a passion.
We'll find out.
We shall see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. We absolutely appreciate it. Renara, what is your normal sign off?
Keep making stuff, do the things, one foot in front of the other, learn to rest but do not stop. And I am going to add something else. You do not need permission to create. You need no one's permission to create something. You only need to believe in yourself to do it. If you want to make something, do it. You do not need someone else to tell you, yes, you should do it, or no, you shouldn't do it because someone else is already doing it. No, if you want to make something, do it.
I love that.
That is my
advice.
Thing of today.
I like
Great
it.
motivation.
Great motivation. All right, everybody, thank you so much for being here. All right, see you next time. That's a wrap.
Bye.
Bye. Drink water.
There it is.